Hello again. This is yet another episode of LCPtracker's E3 series, a virtual interview series looking to engage, educate, and empower the construction community. As always, my name is Tanner Sabaco, and I'll be hosting the show today, but helping us will be LCPtracker's Business Unit Director of LCP Certified, Stephen Hesse. Stephen, hello there.
How's it going, Tanner? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. You know, you did such a great job emceeing at the Ignite conference, not last year, but I guess the year before that, since this pandemic hit. And I figured, you know, you'd probably be itching to get back in the limelight. So I just wanted to give another young up and coming star like you just one more chance to shine.
Maybe up and coming, but I don't know about star, but very nice of you to say
that. I try to be nice. Stephen, would you like to introduce our guest today?
Absolutely. Very pleased to welcome one of my good friends and HR manager of Great Scott Tree Care, Roxanne Montijo. Roxanne, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Stephen and Tanner. It's a pleasure to be here.
Of course. We're glad to have you on the show today, or the series today podcast. Roxanne, you know, you and I met a couple of years back. You had just started at Great Scott, and I had actually just started LCP. And, you had transitioned over to Paychex, really looking for that integration because you had your jobs that required LCPtracker, and certified payroll is a huge burden for you. So I know you have many responsibilities as the head of human resources. Maybe you could take a moment to explain a little more about what your role in the company is.
So I'm the HR manager here at Great Scott Tree Care. I oversee the HR department as well as full cycle payroll, which includes certified payroll. Our goal here is to provide HR management to our staff to implement and train on policies, programs, and services that contribute to not only our employers' goals, but also our employees' goals. Great Scott was founded in 1976 by our current president, Scott Griffiths. And what he did was he started out mowing lawns, and it really inspired him. And so it turned out to be a full service tree maintenance company. And we service municipal jobs, commercial jobs, HOAs, and many urban forests here in Southern California. And, you know, he's been in business for over 45 years. So going strong for sure.
Wow, that is the entrepreneurial spirit, I guess you would say. That's awesome, 45 years and running. So, given the types of jobs that you do, how is your job affected by public works, public work projects specifically?
Well, as we know, if we service any public works property or project, we are subject to pay prevailing wage to our workers performing that work. From crafts to prevailing wage to determinations. And so it creates an abundance of administrative work for us to stay compliant and meet those strict deadlines.
Yeah, Roxanne, I feel like this is a good segue because I did want to touch on the aspect of scope of work considering prevailing wages. I mean, there's often a lot of confusion among contractors about what exactly constitutes as prevailing wage work, right? Typically people, when they think of construction, they picture a worker building something, but the scope of work subject to prevailing wages extends far beyond that. I mean, it can include anything of demolition, installation, repair work, or even alteration on any site that uses public funds. So this even means painting and decorating, or as you very well know, landscaping. Has the company always worked on public work projects, or what's the learning curve on that?
My experiences since I've been here is yes, we have. I'm sure in the beginning, not so much, but since I've been here for the last 3 years, we've always been involved in the municipal jobs. Learning curve, definitely. I came in the company not really having an idea of what prevailing wage was. And so it's a constant learning field. I mean, just our determination itself, our scope stays the same, but our determination changes twice a year. And so just when you feel like you're ahead of the game, something changes. So it's definitely a learning field.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Roxanne, I remember you said you started 3 years ago, and, when you and I connected, you were looking for a better way to handle the certified payroll. Yes. So, prior to you and I, getting together and talking about Paychex and LCP, what were your biggest, your biggest headaches when it came to certified payroll?
Unbelievable, actually. I would say 75% of my time was creating certified payroll records. That would go from processing our payroll to manually entering it into a certified payroll document or Excel spreadsheet, making sure that all that information is correct, and then taking that and hand keying it into the DIR website. So pretty much doing the job 3 times in 3 different platforms. So as you can imagine, that takes a lot of time.
Yeah, that's frustrating. I think unfortunately there are a lot of people that are in your shoes basically that have struggled with that. There's too many people that continue to struggle with that and have the exact same problems. I mean,
Yeah,
these issues are ultimately what led you to adopting Paychex as your payroll provider, correct?
that's correct. Yeah.
Can you expand on the process that led you to making that change and explain how things have improved since then?
Yes, so we were with a different payroll provider. Actually, before I got here, they made the change from ADP to Paychex. And the reason for that was because of the integration with LCPtracker. And so when I first got on, I connected with Steve and he helped me tremendously in getting our uploads compatible. And within a few clicks of a button, believe it or not, we were up and running. It was pretty smooth. So now it's, like I said, as long as you have both systems talking to each other with the upload, there shouldn't be any issues.
Right. And Roxanne, you bring up a really good point. You had some jobs in LCPtracker. I remember when we were going through the implementation. You had jobs that required LCPtracker, but then you had all these other projects that just required you to manually enter to the DIR. And we were going through it, and I remember you're like, yeah, it's cool. LCPtracker has this DIR XML that I can export out of there. And I was like, well, now you have LCP certified. So all your other projects that don't require LCPtracker, you can actually export those as well. So I just remember you were telling me you're spending, basically the whole week entering into the DIR manually and having to check all your work. So again, yeah, it's just the two products, they both integrate with Paychex, and you had a solution where you weren't having to double and triple that payroll data into over and over. Obviously you wear many hats being the human resource director doing certified payroll. So I'm sure you have a million other things to do where certified payroll shouldn't take that much time out of your day. So
Yeah, Stephen, and that's also a very good point that you made. I know you mentioned, both products here. We have LCPtracker and LCP certified. LCPtracker, obviously, again, like you guys mentioned, that's when the agency, the government agency, awarding body, project owner, or even the prime contractor purchase it and require all their subs to use it. But for any of those projects where you're working on them and you don't have that scenario, there's LCP certified. And it doesn't really matter which application Paychex users are using for that project, as long as they're able to cut down a lot of that tedious manual work of entering the data and then double checking the certified payrolls reports and making sure they're accurate and compliant afterwards. It's a lot of stuff. But Roxanne, I'd imagine this frees up quite a bit of time for you to do other parts of your job that you previously struggled to find time for.
Oh, definitely. So as Steve said, with municipal jobs and prevailing wage and certified payroll, it's a weekly commitment. It's not okay, we process payroll biweekly or monthly, so that's when we submit our certified payroll records. No, it's a weekly commitment. And if it's taking me majority of that 1 week to complete that certified payroll, then we aren't spending as much time and energy and effort in the other areas of the department because we're so focused on compliance and certified payroll. And so certified payrolls, it's huge. If it's done incorrectly or the employees aren't paid right, it can essentially shut down a project. And if we're servicing trees that are in a public area, we definitely don't want them to be shut down because that's the safety of the public as well as our workers. So now with having LCP certified and LCPtracker, we definitely have a lot more time to focus on other areas, improving policies and procedures for our company, working with our employees on development, not now, but before the pandemic, working on team building experiences, having, programs for the employees. And now we can really spend our energy and our time and what we truly want to do, I guess you can say, what we truly,
Yeah.
look forward to doing in HR.
That's awesome. I mean, that's the goal, right? To get more work done in less time. But hey, look, well, it's been great having you on the show, Roxanne, and I'm glad you've been able to share your experiences, as there are so many people out there walking that same path as you. And that's all about the time we've got today. I'm going to look at my fake watch. So I wanted to thank you so much for joining us here today.
Awesome. Thank you, Roxanne.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.